So, starting yesterday, the U.S. is receiving its first batch of white South African nationals that have been extended the privilege of coming to the United States as refugees from South Africa. Um, this first batch is 8,000 of these people. So the American people didn't want this, don't want this. It's crazy because when Donald Trump took office, he discontinued almost entirely the refugee program, and there were like 22,000 people from different countries seeking refugee status and in the process of receiving denial or approval for the refugee status to reside in the United States due to issues in their country, which are always based and caused by, no matter what they are, the destabilization that the United States and the West has caused at some point, some way. Um, Donald Trump discontinued this program almost entirely and threw all of these 20-something thousand people back to their countries. You come to the United States as a refugee because you're fleeing political persecution or ethnic persecution, political blah, 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 forms of persecution. These Afrikaners are not being racially discriminated against, but I will tell you something. I hope this is not taken the wrong way. I worked in South Africa in 2017 and 2018 for their National Assembly, and I was able to meet some of these characters because they have a party in the parliament there called the Vryshide something first party. It's a minority party, and their party fundamentals are based on the party is based on two fundamentals. Okay, these are very racist people. The most racist shit I have ever heard in my life come out of these people's mouths, and the fundamentals of their party, their politics, is the staunch opposition to affirmative action and the staunch opposition to Black economic empowerment. These people are descendants of the colonialists from the Netherlands. They came into South Africa in 1948 and before that, really, and stole all of the land. So they make up like 13% of the population in South Africa, and they own like 95% of the land. Like literally one person will have 20 or 25,000 acres that they and their lineage stole. And they are colonialist minded to this day. They are slave mentality, like slave owning mentality. They are, they exist in South Africa, and Black people are not allowed where they live unless they have a permit for work, like a housemaid or something. And they're the cause for South Africa being one of the most unequal countries in the world, according to the World Bank, to this day. And while apartheid ended in 1990, you wouldn't know it going to South Africa by the way that the Black people, the Black South Africans, are treated versus these jackasses. And that is what they are. They are fucking ignorant, evil people. I mean, they call themselves Boers and shit like that. I'm telling you, the stuff that they say, and it's like every single one of them that I met that are almost 200 of them in this party. I didn't work for this party. This party is just in the assembly. All are like that. Like they are like in their regular conversation are like, Black people don't have no intelligence. And this is the shit they say all the time, right? And it's why there's racial divide in South Africa like it is, because this minority still has a grip. So Donald Trump, at the behest of Elon Musk and Peter Thiel, with their insistence that these particular group of white people are facing racial discrimination because the National Assembly, the government of South Africa, has enacted a land back policy, which is technically expropriation without compensation, which you stole the land. You don't need to be compensated to have one person, and they will tell you, we worked hard for this land. You didn't work this is what they believe. And it's 20,000 acres, and one person will tell you that his grandfather worked hard for the land. His grandfather came from Israel and the Netherlands and stole the land by murdering the people that had had it for generations. And these people that are coming to the United States I do not like them, and nobody else is going to like them. They're not coming here because they are under oppression. They are coming here with a sense of entitlement and their wealth, and for a reason. But as they're being provided refugee status only as the exception to the rule, everyone else, no one gets this status ever again because the program is being discontinued. For 12 months at least, they have housing completely paid for. They have all of their food, all of their clothing, all of their amenities, cell phones, and travel vouchers. In some cases, even they will be provided vehicles. Guess who pays for all of that when it comes down to the bottom sifting? U.S. taxpayer funds are who get those funds are derived from U.S. taxpayer funds. When everybody was yapping about the people that like Florida and Texas was flying to New York, the migrants last year and the year before that, and they were saying they're getting vouchers and they're getting free food and subsidies, and they weren't. Well, these 8,000 plus are going to get all of that for at least a year. And then after a year, they'll be able to change their status to permanent legal resident. And now half of the Afrikaners have an issue with coming to the United States as a refugee. But the ones that understand the agenda are the ones that are coming. And they're coming with entitlement and they're coming with wealth. And it's going to cause racial division. I'm just being straight up with you. These Donald Trump, Elon Musk, and Peter Thiel do not have any fucking good, genuine interest in the well-being of anyone, much less South African white people. And I'm just telling you that Zionism is all in it. Zionism and Nazism were in South Africa at the end of apartheid in 1990, deeper than what Nazism was at the height of Nazi Germany in the 30s and 40s. And we can't forget that in 1994, 4 years after apartheid ended, in the year that the first democratic election took place, conservatives in the U.S. Congress were wearing ribbons that said "Hang Mandela." And so this is the mentality of people that are coming here. And they have existed and maintained their apartheid mentality, and all that truth and reconciliation was just like denazification. It was all a sham and a show. And so these people are coming here and they're going to get U.S. taxpayer funded privilege for a year. Meanwhile, we're deporting U.S. citizens. We are at the threshold of suspending fucking the writ of habeas corpus. Due process is something that is scoffed at. There are more homeless people now than ever before, including children who are without house, without food, without electricity, without running water. But these privileged white racist MFers are coming here under the guise of a refugee so that everything is funded, but for a different agenda than what is being let on to the American people. And largely, the American people don't even know anything about this happening. But the administration is so about it that they're going to Dulles Airport with a welcoming ceremony with a flock of government officials. So this is, and the Jews are all in South Africa with the Afrikaners, training them to be snipers in an anticipation for this conflict over this land back measure that they do believe will escalate into a conflict at some point in the future. So I don't think that Americans should be welcoming to these people. I know that sounds, to some people on the surface of it might sound immature. And we don't want any of that racist shit here. We are dealing with our shit, but you will see when these people are here and it's attention on them that Americans, the American culture on white and black issues will make us look revolutionarily evolved compared to these backwards, knuckle-dragging white supremacists, because they are real white supremacists. They are white supremacist-minded. Currently, they are colonialist-minded. Currently, they are apartheid-minded. Currently, and they are slave master-minded currently. And it's going to cause fucking chaos. And that is why I believe they're being brought here.
So now that the House of Representatives has effectively passed a bill that now will go to the Senate that will legally allow the administration to deport U.S. citizens, I have some follow-up points of negotiation that I would like to give to you. Number one, do I get to pick the destination? If you give me a list of like 5 to 10 countries, I will elect my top 3 and you get back to me on what you can do with that. Number 2, you're going to cancel my student loans, right? Because I can't use my education obtained here in the next country. I will have to go back to school. So you should probably go ahead and cancel that, as well as credit me back all the money that I have busted my ass to pay to you to pay those student loans off. Number 3, can I volunteer as tribute? Do we have to commit a crime to be deported? Is there a list to sign up? I think that would be a great idea if you're trying to like offload some people. I think many would volunteer for this. Number 4, credit scores, debt. You're going to cancel that, right? Because if I'm no longer a citizen, I don't think I should have to adhere to credit scores or pay back any debt that I acquired as a citizen here. That should be like null and void. I think that's a great idea. Number 5, are you paying for my move? I think there should be like some incentive, reimbursement, relocation assistance. I think you should pay for it. As long as I didn't commit a crime to get deported, if I volunteered, I think it should be on your dime. Because I've been paying my taxes for years now, and I think that's the least that you can do is go ahead and pay for my move to the next country. You get back to me, look through my terms. If you need a PDF, I can send that to you. Happy to negotiate further.
Hello everyone, welcome back. Like, this deportation is no longer funny. I don't really understand whereby they said the way they dressed, that is the reason why they are deporting them. I know, fine, they said you should dress the way you should be addressed, but some persons are actually good, okay? So they came to you guys for a shelter. You deporting them, I don't really think is a good idea, because things are getting more difficult in the world. Please let me know what you guys think about this in comment section. Thank you.
The Africans that are fleeing to America as refugees, that ain't gonna work. I moved to South Africa. Let me tell you, I had met these people. When I came here, I had no idea these kind of people even existed on the earth. I felt like I was in a time warp taking me back to the 1800s. Let me tell you why it's not going to work in America. First of all, America judges you by what you look like. Okay, that goes for everybody. How you dress, your swag, how you carry yourself, how you speak, how you behave. They're going to fail every single one of those tests. Fashion is not really a thing here. It's not like commercial fashion in South Africa. People wear anything. They don't care really too much about how their hair looks, how they're dressed. It doesn't matter. And that's kind of a great thing. It's not pretentious. You can like take your wig off, you know what I mean, and just chill. There is fashion, but the fashion is really more like the South African, the true, authentic cultural fashion. Now that's lit. But like anything else is just like, meh, it's so generic, right? So these people, they don't really dress very nicely. They just honestly look like they came out of off of a farm, honestly. Like they don't even try. So that's going to fail a lot. People are going to judge you based on what you look like. Welcome to Babylon. You're about to find out how people will judge you. White people will look at you up and down and be like, and X you out based on how you're dressed. Looking at your shoes, your hair. Like they're so backwards in their mentality about how they feel about black people that they're just backwards in everything else too. So there's no swag. Even when they think they're dressing nice, it's just like, even if they put these Africans in like an all-white supremacist KKK area, no grown man in America, I don't care who you are, wants to pay for another grown man and his family to live on his taxpayer money. They don't need KKK members that bad to where they have to ship them in from South Africa and take care of them for a year. Not in the climate and the economic strain that America is in right now. Don't nobody want to foot the bill for no old fat dude who has like no swag. I mean, like, even if Trump, because they're saying that Trump is giving them a clothing voucher or clothing funding and housing and food and vehicles and cell phones. Africans aren't used to paying prices like that. So they'll probably take the clothing funding, which I don't know how much it will be, but they'll probably be, go to like any mall or any store anywhere and be like, oh no, I'm not buying that for that price. So they'll find themselves at Walmart. And even though our Walmart is shitting on everything out here, it's still going to be Walmart in America. So you're never going to pass the swag test, ever, right? So just off rip on sheer appearance, it's a fail. Because you're in America, America's pretentious, you are judged based on how you look and carry yourself. I stated that point. Then there's going to be the part where they open their mouth. And it's going to be like, where are you from? A French accent is at least sexy, but we know a French accent. Everyone loves a British accent. We've heard that. We know Australian, it's a little quirky, but we know that's a distinct accent. We know that one. German, that's a whole different accent. We know that one. But when you pop out with that Dutch accent, black, people are just going to say, where are you from? And that's where the problem is going to start, right there. Because when I have talked to any Africant out here and said, oh, where are you from? I'm genuinely want to know, like, are you from the Netherlands? Are you from Britain? Are you from Germany? Like, where are you from? And you'll go through 10 minutes of this whole charade about, I am from Africa. It's like, okay, but where are you from? Where was your grandparents from? 5 generations, Africa. I'm born here. I am African. No, you're not. You're clearly white. Where are you? I'm just trying to find out where you're from. I just want to know your roots are British or are they Dutch? It's not a hard question. So by the time you get an answer for that, you're already going to think this person is out of their mind. They don't know who they are. They believe that they're Africans. So that's going to be the other problem. Americans don't even believe, honestly, that white people can even be Africans. Because that's not where you came from. We all know that Africa is the land of black people. It's a chocolate factory. And you didn't come from there. We all know that you came in because you call it, like, we know this already. So we don't even believe, that's going to annoy you right off the bat. And then finally, when they say where they're from, by that time, they would have spewed out so much hate and 1800s, like way back thinking that nobody's on but them. Nobody's on that page. So white people in America don't think like that. I mean, there's racism in America, yes, but it's a different type of a racism. And the majority of the people, the regular everyday people, aren't. So you're not going to even get along with white people. You think you're going to go to land, there's, 250 million white people there. They don't think like you. They do not. And American taxpayers do not want to pay for another white immigrant. They don't. We already did that with Ukraine. We did that already. Okay, America is suffering financially. So that's just one way it's not going to. The swag, the culture, how they speak, you will find out. It will blow your mind. How they look at black people. Out here in South Africa, white people stay in their spaces. Indians are kind of sprinkled all about, but they still stay in their own groups. I'm glad that the Africans are leaving because the real South Africans are so nice. They really are. Y'all don't even deserve to be around them. You don't deserve their kindness. You don't. Go on to America so that you can meet black folks who are empowered. You're not used to that. That's going to be a whole culture shock. If you haven't been outside of South Africa and seen how empowered black people are outside of this place, you need to, just like African Americans need to come here to South Africa and experience a different type of freedom over here, you need to do that. You need to experience life without the police. Seriously. And then walk into a bank, everybody's black. Walk into a grocery store, everybody's black. Walk into anywhere, everybody's black. It's so beautiful. This is the real American dream. This is the African American dream in Africa. But out them South Afrikaners, y'all not gonna make it. Pop off on a nigga, on a white person. All you got to do is just give him a beer. Give him a beer and wait. that hate is going to spew out of them, and it's going to be in such a way that's just like, ew. Like but they're so entitled about, like, they're different. They're different. It ain't gonna work. Then everything is so overpriced, they're not gonna be able to handle that. Then it's raining blue in Texas and California now. What you gonna do about the navy blue rain falling out the sky? You're not gonna, the food is so toxic, you think you're fat now, you won't even be able to digest it. Your body won't be able to handle it. It's really bad. On top of that, our ports are empty. There's a trade war with everyone. So you're going at the absolute worst possible time when, if you thought prices were high before, whatever's left in reserves is about to be inflated beyond belief. It just, this is just a joke. I promise, if you open up your mouth to anybody, black or white or whoever, because we have the real Rainbow Nation in America, that's where there's really at, and we integrate with one another, and we have been marrying, playing, working, all of that together for a very long time. If you pop off and say any of that kind of stuff that you feel in your heart, you're gonna get nizak, dizzy, fizzuk, is out, is on a spizzot, TKO, out. It is not gonna fly. I just see a disaster in the making. I'm sipping tea, watching how all this unfolds. I think it's gonna be hilarious.